Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
As on Aadhaar, the Supreme Court has taken the correct call on the arrest of Bhima Koregaon activists. It is not a question of whether they are guilty or not. I am not saying they look guilty or they look innocent. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But there is a due process, and that is the principle that when police does arrest anybody, any citizen, rightly or wrongly, the police has to take him or her to the court. That is the trial court. Now, not every accused can immediately override the trial court, the sessions court, the high court and go straight to Supreme Court for redressal and for intervention. Because Supreme Court is not a fact-finding court in a criminal case. It's the trial court which is the fact-finding court in a criminal case. There is a dissenting judgment again from Justice Chandrachud which raises questions about what the police has done, about how police has leaked things. Those are valid points. But the point is, what is sauce for goose must be sauce for gander. That is the oldest judicial logic. So if the Supreme Court intervenes in a case like this, what does it do next time anybody is arrested for any crime, particularly in crimes where somebody could claim a freedom of speech issue or dissent issue? Can they all then go directly to the Supreme Court of India? Do they all have the means to go to the Supreme Court of India? Do they all have influential backers in Delhi who can go to Supreme Court of India, or lawyers, top lawyers who will work pro bono for them? It's not going to happen for everybody. Now, it is not to say that if one gets injustice, why should the other get injustice? You can flip that question. Why should some people get special justice? If you think that your judicial system is rotten at the trial court level, fix that system. You will never fix that system as long as the sufferers are ordinary Indians, because they are meant to suffer. They are fated to suffer. They were born to suffer. It's only when the well-to-do, the privileged, the influential get caught in the same system that you feel bad for them and you acknowledge that the system is rotten, and that's when the top court intervenes. It should not. And I think that is the correct call the court has taken. They've thrown the ball back in the trial court. These accused have to fight in the trial court against their arrest. I presume they have strong cases and they have good lawyers, and then if they don't get redressal there, then escalate up the appeal ladder as anybody else, as any other citizen does. So that's a good call. The second thing, since we're on the judiciary, I spent all of last night watching the US Senate Judiciary Committee hearings on the Justice Kavanaugh appointment. You know the controversy. A woman academic has come up saying that 36 years back in their high school, he pinned her down and tried to pull her clothes down and so molested her. This has got all of America and frankly all of the global commentariat in a tizzy. It's a big issue. Now, if you watch these hearings, please do watch these hearings, you understand two things. One, you understand what consent means in 2018. It is not what it used to mean 30 years ago. The world has changed. Second, you see both the beauty and the brutality of a true democratic process. This is where the complainant woman, there is no question of hiding her identity. She sits in front of the cameras, answers questions from senators, most of whom are male, and they ask her quite tough questions. Similarly, the judge to be himself, he is going to be a Supreme Court judge in America. They can serve for life. He is asked questions, the toughest possible questions, including how many beers did he drink, does he like drinking alcohol, has he ever lost his balance under the influence of alcohol. Watch all that. It tells you something about transparency, it tells you something about accountability, and it tells you something about the democratic process that we lag in our country. And now, before I go away, I have to remind you, this is Lata Mangeshkar's birth anniversary. On our website, theprint.in, you see a selection by Shreya Sharma on her least remembered but most beautiful 15 songs. But if I were to choose one for my all-time favorites, I would say from Mamta, Rahe Na Rahe Hum, Mehka Karenge. Since all of you know Hrithik Roshan, I shall also remind you that that score was composed by Hrithik Roshan's grandfather, Roshan, and it was picturized on Ashok Kumar and Suchitra Sen, two immortal actors. So please do check it out and hear it.